All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, double ones the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you sincere laborers out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. All right, it's your brother Kanakla. I'll come back at you again. GMS Tampa Bay 07, GMS Rai. All right, first and foremost, we're supposed to let so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans know that they are the true children of Israel. Okay, and the Lord is coming back to save his people ultimately out of the land of America, aka Babylon. All right, and the ushering of the Lord is going to return in what you call so-called UFOs. Okay, which are IFOs, which are chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, chariots of God. All right, and it's a lot of sightings, UFO sightings, are taking place, man. All right, most recently the one that I believe these were some NASA pilots saw. It's like a Navy pilot saw uh, a week or two ago. But this is just a current event. This is posted Sunday, December 24th. So I mean, it was on the same sighting. All right, but it's just pretty much an update. It says UFO existence proven beyond reasonable doubt, says former head of Pentagon alien program. All right, so they used to say, okay, they would dismiss it and say, we don't, it was an aircraft, or it was a glare in the camera, or something like, oh, there was a missile that was shot off. They would dismiss it, but now, man, we're coming towards the end. All right, and they're admitting, man, that those are UFOs, man, other life forms. All right. I'm gonna just get into this article real quick, bring out some precepts, and Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, Shai, be edified, and I'm gonna close out. It says, rotating glowing Ura traveling high speeds was captured from a Navy FA-18 Super Hornet. The existence of UFOs have been proved beyond reasonable doubt, according to the head of the secret Pentagon program that analyzed the mysterious aircrafts. Okay, if you haven't seen it, I'm pretty sure you have seen it, but it's a beautiful thing to look at it again. All right, as he says, a whole fleet of them. Oh my gosh, I don't know if the volume is cut up on this. It's not playing the volume at the moment, but it's all good. It's rotating, Continuing on, it says the existence of UFOs had been proved beyond reasonable doubt, according to the head of secret Pentagon program that analyzed the mysterious aircrafts. In an interview with British broadsheet The Telegraph published on Saturday, Luis Elizondo told a newspaper of the sightings. In my opinion, if this was a court of law, we have reached a point of beyond reasonable doubt. I hate to use the term UFO, but that's what we're looking at, he added. I think it's pretty clear this is not us, and it's not anyone else, so no one has to ask questions where they're from. So meaning it's not us, okay, meaning not the US, United States of America, and not anyone else, meaning not any other country, okay? Because, like that was mentioned, nobody has those capabilities to move the way those so-called UFOs move, all right? It says Elizondo led the U.S. Defense Department's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program investigating evidence of UFOs and alien life from 2007 to 2012, when it was shuttered. Its existence first reported by the New York Times last week. Oh, that's beautiful. So they've been had these programs out, all right, but it was like secret under wraps. But there's so much sightings, and we're in the time of the end, all right. There's other life form out there, man. And those life forms, those angels, those are the angels that the servants of the Lord that are operating those ships. Okay, so that says that this wasn't mentioned until last week. This was around since 2007, man. This program. Okay, once again, they're trying to, keep this hid from the people. All right. It says Elizondo was not able to discuss specifics of the program, but he told the Telegraph that there had been lots of UFO sightings and witnesses interviewed during the program's 5 years. Investigators pinpointed geographical hotspots that were sometimes near nuclear facilities and power plants. They also observed trends among the aircrafts, including lack of flight surfaces on the objects and extreme maneuverability. Okay, extreme maneuverability. There was never any display of hostility, but the way they maneuver is in ways no one else in the world had. Okay, you have to be conspicuous. Something could happen, he said. Despite Pentagon funding running out in 2012, Elizondo oversaw UFO work for another 5 years before resigning in October 2017. Out of frustration with the Secretary of Investigations, he had pushed for videos of the possible alien sightings to be made public so people could see the footage. Okay, that's probably why he quit, man, because, he wanted people to see this. He wanted people to see what the government is hiding, all right? So ultimately, the government knows about these UFOs, okay? And we know that, as brothers in His truth. We know that the top elites, the people of society, know that the UFOs are the chariots of God, the Heavenly Father. And they know that what those UFOs are and what they're coming to do. And they know what they mean when they're sighted, man. All right? The Lord is coming back to take power, all right? To take over when He comes back, man. All right? It says in his registration letter to Defense Secretary Jim Mattis, Elizondo asks, why aren't we spending more time and effort on this issue? All right, because ultimately, he probably was used as just some peon, all right, to keep track of this stuff. All right, they used him, got enough information. Now they probably don't need him no more, man. All right, it says there's remaining vital need of ascertaining capability and intent of these phenomena for the benefit of the armed forces of the nation. Elizondo told the Telegraph he'd like to see someone prop up the probe again. I'd say bolster the program. We want NASA to find life on different planets. We have highly educated pilots here, and they're seeing something they can't understand. Okay? How can these aircrafts move, okay, in the way they do? How can they disappear and reappear? How can they get big, and get small? How can they go into the ocean and not make a splash? How can they move at such speeds and then stop on a dime? All right, they can't explain that. All right, and ultimately, man, those are the chariots of the Heavenly Father. All right, there's nothing that you can really do about it. But hey, just sit and wait. Pretty much, man. Sit and wait, and you so-called white people, sit and wait for the Lord to come back and destroy you, man. All right, I'm just getting this precept of 2 Ezra 13:1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the ways thereof, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Okay, and that man is talking about the Lord, the one who the word calls Jesus Christ, with the thousands of heaven. All right, let me get a precept on that real quick. Psalm 68 verse 17. The chariots of the Most High, all right, are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Okay, so the chariots of the Lord are 20,000, even thousands. All right, so go back to this. It says 2 Ezra 13:3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Okay, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Because ultimately, man, the U.S. government, the so-called white man, the elites, they're afraid. They're afraid of those UFOs, because they know what the UFOs are coming, man. are coming to do. It says, verse 4, and whence whosoever the voice went out of his mouth, they all burnt, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth, it faileth the fire. So the Lord is going to be shooting out pretty much concentrated fire, man, laser beams. All right. He says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Okay, so there gathered together a multitude of men out of the number of sea. If you can understand that, if you can receive it, when the Lord comes back, all the nations are going to gather together, okay, to fight the Lord. All right. I believe Reagan said that, man. You know, one day, you know, we would come together if we was faced with a force of, pretty much, roughly paraphrasing, of an alien invasion. Okay, so hey, they know, man. And this is scriptural right here. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, they got together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Okay, and that's metaphorically speaking, because the ship that the Lord was in was so big, man, it looked like a mountain. And he flew upon it. You know, mountains don't fly. All right. So if this was so big that he thought it was a mountain. He said, but I would have seen where the region of place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. So it wasn't a mountain, because he had to look and see, like, damn, where did he take that mountain out of his spot from? Okay, but he couldn't. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. So they're gonna be afraid, but the Lord gonna put the spirit on them to fight them. All right, it says, and lo, as I saw the violence of the multitude that came, so they came at them probably with their tanks, their high supersonic jets, okay, their drones. You know, they put lasers on the satellites, the Star Wars program. You know, they came at him with violence, the multitude. You know, Russia came with gonna come with their planes. China gonna come with their planes. Everybody, you know, their battleships, it's like the aircraft carriers. America gonna come with theirs. Everybody gonna come to try to subdue the Lord with violence. It says, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flame breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. So the Lord is going to be shooting fire at these people, man, burning them up like the movie War of the Worlds. Verse 11, and all they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight him. So the Lord is going to make easy work out of all the nations, man. All right. It's the reason why he's going to have all the crowns on him. It says, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and a smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Okay? So the Lord's going to burn these people up, man, in those ships. But with that, man, you know, Lord willing, brothers edified, man, you know, just be prepared, man. You know, just see more UFO sightings, you know, because of that time. It's that time the Lord's getting ready to make his appearance. Okay? And, you know, we're getting time towards the end. You know, you're going to see more UFO sightings. Things are just going to speed up, man. You brothers, you know, just get prepared, man. And know that, you know, if you're new in this thing, know that those UFOs are your salvation. They're not the enemy. All right? In the Hollywood movies, they paint the UFOs to be the enemy. But the UFOs are not the enemy. That's your salvation, man. That's what's going to get you and save you from the destruction that's going to come. All right? Save you out of this captivity underneath the rulership of the so-called white man known as the Edomites in the Bible. All right? That's our salvation. All right? But everybody that's not with this truth and not serving the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, that just worship Christmas today, all right? You're in danger of that judgment, man, if you don't turn back and repent. Well, that I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the ones, the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you sincere laborers out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty.